little video thing there. So, welcome. Oh, snap, there's people here. Welcome to the Monday Night Mission Report. Going to be talking about the Fang 2 tonight. So we're going to just jump right into this. This was my test print. You might have seen me showing it off. I can make myself bigger, I think. There's no reason not to, right? Might have seen me showing it off this weekend on the G.I. Joe 3D printing podcast. Super happy with it. Really clean. It just feels like a toy, turret's kind of fully functional, does everything it needs to do. I've got the little toggle up here. You can see it wants to snap into those two positions. Props spin could be better, but it's not like it's going to actually fly. And then the body's split into two pieces, and like the seam's right here, and you can barely see it. Just thrilled to death how this turned out. I designed some decals. Got somebody hooking me up with those. I don't know. I'm not going to plug him because he maybe doesn't want to field a bunch of requests for free stickers from people. Yeah. So a couple little tweaks based on this, and it's good to go. So when we're done here, I'll go onto the Patreon. I'll put the files up. So let's see. So a couple of tricks. Out of the gate, I realized it's amazing. One watching coming together. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. I realized the way I've designed it, I really, the axle for the pivoting engines on the top. I wanted it to be a rod that you could slide all the way through. So it had to be a circle. The rods I have are the ones I've been kind of pushing for everyone to get, or the 3.4 mil, or they're technically 3 mil styrene rods I got off of Amazon, and I really need to just keep posting that link. So we slide the rod halfway through, you run it through the toggle or the dial, rest of the way through the wings, and then you put the two wings on. And I realized, like, trying to glue all three of those together, I was asking for trouble, because all it takes is like one of those wings to be, a little off, and it's ruined, and I wouldn't even be able to look at it. So I came up with a jig, which is in the files, and I didn't need to, but I glued mine together. So this is it, and I shouldn't have printed it in black if I was going to be showing it on here, because that just makes it hard. But I tried to make it, not take up too much material. I think I printed all 1, 2, 3 pieces in, I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes. It's not a bad little print. You just print it flat. I didn't know how big people's print beds were, so I broke it into 3 pieces. It slides right together, and it's real nice and easy. So the way this will work, you'll take the toggle, the dial, and there's 2 sides that are flat. So it's not an octagon, but it's got two wider flat edges. One is laying down flat, and the back. So you'll pop that in here. You take your wings, you'll put that on top of that. You'll run your rod through. I don't have it. I have the toggle, but it's the other side of the room, and I'm not going to get it because it will serve no purpose. So I'm not doing this right now. But you'll run the rod all the way through the wings, through the dial, and then you'll pick a side. We'll grab this engine first. It's a bit much. It's an easy print, and we'll keep talking about it. So with the dial nice and flat, and you'll feel it, you'll know. You put one engine in here, and That's how it's going to work. So, okay, so you take the engine, you put a little teeny bit of glue inside the hole. You don't want it outside the hole, you want it inside the hole. So hopefully you've got some CA glue with a nice tight cap on it. Then you'll take the rod, run it in there, and then at that point you can even put some glue on the other one. You'll need to cut it a bit shorter and like dry fit everything first. Always, always, always dry fit everything first. But yeah, you'll snip your rod, you'll put some glue in the hole, and you'll run it all together, and you'll just set it into this thing and let it dry. And then both your engines will be nice and straight with the dial in the right position so that you'll be able to make it do this, where it wants to hang out up there at 90 and then straight forward. Okay? So there's a jig. I would not try to glue this together without the jig. I think you're asking for trouble doing it that way. But with the jig, it's super easy. You're wasting a little bit of filament and you're spending an extra an hour and change printing it. Who cares? I put it on like the highest. I want to say it was like 0.24, 0.26 layer height. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to work. So good stuff. Other really important things. So I split the body. Nothing's glued on this yet. These are just kind of popped on. But I split the body in two. This split had to be behind where the dial goes because of the little. It's can't even call it a mechanism. It's almost like a plastic sliver that's acting like a spring that's inside there. This has to be down flat. I mean, if you want to angle it or something, you can. Then you're not going to have a nice, clean place for the two bodies to come together. And I don't have the things in there, but like when it lines up really good. So you can print this one straight up. You print this one straight up. You put in your rods, and it'll pop together just real nice and clean. Just about all the pieces really kind of pop on nice and easy. Barely even needs glue. The one kind of tricky one is the seat. So pops on, the turret's the same. It's like from 90. It's tight, but once it pops on, it doesn't want to come off. But it's pretty good. So the seat's tough. The seat's hard. See if you can just manhandle it and get it to pop into place. If not, get a hair dryer. Not too much, but warm it up a little bit, and it'll pop in there. And you'll know it. You'll see there's a little peg at the bottom. There's a hole in the bottom of the seat. You get it in. You wedge the top of the seat up against. There's a little ledge in there, and then you just manhandle, like thumb it, push it in hard. I would do the seat before anything else because you're gonna have to muscle it a bit, and you don't want to risk breaking any of the other stuff. Once that's all done, man, and then the wings pop into the top, real easy. So once this, assemble this separate, and do not put the props or the propellers or whatever you want to call them. Don't put those on the engines before you use the jig and glue that all together because it won't work. It won't fit. You'll end up breaking something. It's kind of it. There aren't really a lot of tricky parts. The props are a little tricky. You're probably going to need to add some extra supports to them. I did. I had them. I really wanted to print them. I don't have the other ones. I really wanted to print them where the bottom of one of them is on the build plate, and the slicer will happily take that, put a little support material on there, and let it try to print. I had lots of issues until I just went in and made sure to add some extra supports to it. A brim probably wouldn't hurt at the bottom just to help it from wiggling around and coming off the build plate because it's just such a small point of contact at the bottom. Other than that, it's a really easy print, and I'm impressed. It turned out really good, and I give all the credit to the bamboo for that. Yeah, so this is bamboo filament. Who asked that? David Turner. Um, somebody had asked me, shoot, maybe in the Patreon, and I feel like I put a link to it up. Let me, I'm going to look real quick and I will give you the exact correct answer. But it's definitely Bamboo Labs. And basic. It is indigo purple, 10701. Indigo purple. It's a dark, there's purple, and then there's indigo purple, and it's in stock right now. I actually, when I was first looking for colors, it was out of stock, and I had to wait like a couple weeks. So, but I took so goddamn long to finish making the thing. It came back in stock. Will I release the 3MF file with the STL? No, because I still haven't quite figured out how to do that. It's not like the only part that was tricky to print was the propeller, and you can figure it out. I do need to figure out how to do the 3MS though. It's just another thing. I started looking at it for something else, and it turned out the guy I was trying to help didn't have a bamboo. He had something else. So I don't know. Hey, Tony from Tony's Figs, how's it going? He's going to be on with GI Customs tomorrow on his podcast. So cool. I'll watch that. I'll listen to it anyway while I'm working. Any other questions about printing the Fang before I talk about other stuff? Again, my STLs will go up once we're done here. I'm just gonna plop them onto the Patreon, so it'll all be there. Oh, I did make it. One of the changes I made from the original on my first test print on the front of the engines. Yeah, it's black. I had a circle on here just so the propeller would stand out a bit from the engine, and in my head that would just ensure that the propellers would turn easily. But it was kind of messy. Like the flat part of the circle I put on the build plate, and then the millimeter or less around it looked pretty ugly. So I ended up just making the whole thing flat. I wish I had I have ordered a smooth build plate, but I don't have it yet. This would look much better if this was smooth. But it's going to have that big red propeller in the front of it, and you don't notice. But I've added like 3 little raised half circles to the back of the propeller just to kind of minimize the friction. But yeah, like I'm really like with the textured build plate, I'm getting like such a thin, teeny, almost unnoticeable like line where the two halves of the body comes together, and I'm very curious to find out with the smooth build plate if I can just make it invisible. That would be pretty sweet. That's the hope. So whenever whenever they decide to deliver that thing, I'm looking forward to giving that a test run. So we'll see. Okay. The plan was last week when I talked about it, like what's next? The plan was to finish the ground crew vehicle for pulling the Rattler or bombs or whatever. It's just gonna have a little tow hook on the back, and there's different options. I really want to get that thing knocked out. It's like 90% there, and I realized maybe you remember I started doing this Fallout laser rifle, which is also mostly there, but it is like the whole purpose of that project was to be a birthday present for my brother, and that's coming up in like a week. So I have to get that thing done right now, so it's ready for him for his birthday. And I'm actually giving it to, it's not his birthday, but I'm giving it to him on Monday because my oldest son is graduating and we've got all kinds of family coming into town, so he's coming into town for that, so I'm gonna give it to him then. So I need to just knock that thing out. So that is the next thing that I have to finish. um, and then I spent all day today not working on it, so good stuff. This week's actually brutal. I've got because everyone's coming into town, my wife's like doing all these like maintenance-y, touch-uppy things to the house that we've been putting off, like filling little holes in the wall and painting it and fixing cabinets and all kinds of nonsense. And then we also have like contractors that are repairing wood on the outside of the house, and then the house is getting painted, and it's a little stressful around here, and I keep getting pulled away from my desk to do things. Weapons transport for the Rattler. Could you elaborate on that? Oh, you mean just like yeah. So that's part of the plan. I've got a little trailer that gets pulled behind the ground crew equipment, and I don't have like a nomenclature. I haven't made anything up. But it's actually got like a little like an accordion type system, so you'll be able to like pull a lever and it'll make the bomb go up. Pretty little simple thing, but I think that'll be a fun little play feature. It's not complicated or anything. Yeah. So that'll be after the Fallout rifle. Um, yeah, busy month, man. Busy month. Then I've got like a project I'm doing that will definitely go on here. That it's like it's I'm not going to say what it is. It's something from my childhood. It was not GI Joe, not Star Wars, none of those things. But it was. I realize now it was a toy that was. I didn't think it was my favorite, but I probably played with it more than anything else, like in my childhood. And I was brutal to it, and it survived. So, but I've got it in my head, and the only way to get it out of my head so I can move on is to do it. So I'm kind of spare time working on that. It sucks. Uh, yeah. Does anyone have any questions? We can kind of wrap this one up kind of quick tonight. The main thing is I just wanted to make sure everyone knew, like when you're, again, when you go to print the main part of the body of this thing, it's got to be like this, or the little spring that's kind of designed in there won't print right. It won't work. So you got to print this like this. That said, like it'd be silly to not print the back with the flat face down. It would be real silly to print this any other way than also like this, because it makes the scene real easy. Hey, for the folks that are in the chat, has anyone actually bought the styrene rods that I put the links out for, or are you printing them? Like I had provided a file called Peggy, I think, and it's just a little 3.4 millimeter by like 8 millimeter peg that you can print in FDM. You can lay it down flat and print it. I do know people have worked. It's worked for a couple folks to do it that way. I really like just putting the styrene rod in the hole and giving it a snip, and then it kind of just coming together easy versus me printing a bunch of silly little rods. Cool. Immutable. He's got it. Awesome. David. David's got it. Plastic Fantastic's got it. Cool. Like so. You've got them. I assume you've used them on something. Like thumbs up, good idea, or like roll it back, or like what? Like is everyone cool? Everyone that's used that, like it's been successful, no issues. Yeah, I used them on the Fang. Man, I've used them on a couple of projects now. The Shark, the Conquest, the Fang 2. It's easy. It just makes it fucking work. Cool. I am gonna call it, and I probably can make that go away. Boop. Okay. Uh, so David Turner says a jig. Did you say something? Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. I'm glad they're working and nobody's kind of having issues with any of it. Yeah. Again, uh, for for the wing top piece, the wing, that's the name of the file, wing top. You're gonna get your toggle. You're gonna put that in the jig. Put the wing top down. Run the rod through. Um, with the rod through and the toggle down, you'll just put a little drop of glue where the rod runs through the toggle. Um, let it dry, let it cure, and then one engine, the other engine down. But again, dry fit everything first. Dry fit everything first. And don't be surprised when the seat is really hard to kind of snap into place. Don't worry about gluing the seat. Once it snaps into place, it's not going anywhere. And there's a flat angle, so it's going to stand in a funny way where it's going to be flat on the build plate and zigzag up. You know what? I'm gonna pull that up, and I need to get going. But let me pull this up. I always do this. So I got Bamboo Studio loading, and once it's up, I'll show you how I want not how I want, but how I recommend the seat be oriented on the plate. It's never taken this long to load before, of course. And nothing else running. I will share my screen in just a second. I do have I've got a lot of folders and stuff, and I mean, I don't even want like the names of who everyone I'm working for being shown. I have signed a ton of NDAs, so I want to make sure that I stay true to what I've signed off on. Okay, here we go. Share screen, entire screen, share. Okay, this is the seat. It dropped in just like this. You can see I've carved a bit out of the back just to make it slide in a little more easily. But you can see there's this shape right there, and that's where you want to lay it down. It's that part right there. Reason being, at 0.16 millimeters, I've got none of the like trashy striations that you sometimes get when you've got um, curves that are approaching 90 degrees. A lot of times you'll end up with like this layering, and it's ugly and it's not good. But printed like this, I'm real happy with the seats. I don't think I had any. Let's try that again. I just wanted to see where it stuck the supports. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, I added some supports. This is all the slicer wanted to add. Having this flat is really great. I can come back to prepare, grab that thing, and you can paint on some extra supports. So that's all I did. I think I just did like that. Yeah, just stabilize it. It should be nice and solid on the plate because of that little strip I created. But giving it some extra support is not going to hurt anything. All right. Jai Customs popped in. How's it going? Good evening. just in time for me to wrap things up. Cool. Giving me compliments about the shark. I always like a nice compliment. But no kidding. Also, like no kidding. If you have negative feedback, I want that. I want to get better. I want to improve. I want to make, if one of the files is problematic, I'm not going to know unless you guys tell me. So, if you've got something that is just, you can't get it to print, or it's not performing as advertised, I guess, please, please, please let me know. I would say let me know through the Patreon, like go to Patreon, send me a direct message through Patreon. That's the best way. But yeah, definitely I want, positive feedback's great, but like the negative feedback is what I need so I can improve. So uh, always please and thank you. Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for checking this out. I am immediately putting the zipped folder up on the Patreon so you can download it. I really wish Patreon is brutal, man. Like I can't see any kind of like back end anything, and you guys can't post pictures, which I would love. I think that'd be great. So if not, uh, if you post pictures on Instagram, please tag me. I'd love to see what you're doing. Feel free, post stuff in the GI Joe groups. Tag me when and where you can. I appreciate it. I want to see what you guys are doing with these files. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks again, and let's see. GI Joe 3D Printing podcast this Sunday, and we'll be going through the list of what we might want to do as the next build project. And at the end of the podcast on Sunday, we'll have a list of I don't know how many, and then we'll post that to we'll post a survey with them to the Facebook group, and you can vote on what the next build is going to be. And then the following Sunday, we'll reveal what we're building, and we will start building. So that'll be cool. That's how we got the Fang 2, was through voting on the survey that we put up on the Facebook group, and then just doing that every other Sunday build on the GI Joe 3D printing podcast. So we'll have that, and then Monday I'm just gonna keep doing this at Monday nights. Yeah, I have I've got a bunch of canopies to sand. I know I had gotten a question about maybe doing a how-to video for sanding the canopies. I would love to do that. If I'm doing a video with that means it's at least 2 weeks before I even start, because it's just sanding's time consuming. Add making a video to that, and that's a lot. That's brutal. Happy to do it, but I'm just not gonna have time for like 2 weeks. So that means my sharks will all be canopy less. Will be sans canopy for a little while. All right, guys. Thanks again. And I will catch you next Sunday. See you at Joe Fest. Yo, Joe.